Jump back to the beginning of the process because we've already gone from variable to fixed, but let's go back to variable for a second. Let's talk about finding the vehicle on the lot. We know that in the United States, we've got some huge lots out there, remote lots, multiple lots, and a lot of dealer groups have multiple rooftops in a single geography. So finding vehicles is still a major challenge. We're depending and leaning a lot on porters these days to know where everything is. The guy calls in sick, you're sort of screwed, right? So let's talk about the most fixable problem we have out there. Let's talk about the broken vehicle search process and what that really looks like in real time.
Yeah, so again, when you look at who's selling your vehicle, how did you connect with that dealership and who are you talking to? There's a chance it's a BDC. There's a chance it's a manager that you're speaking to on the phone. So again, finding that vehicle, we might have found them the right vehicle online or speaking with them over the phone. When they get here, how do we find it? If you look at a lot of dealership groups, this is a common challenge we see is that we're selling over multiple rooftops. To your point, we have these huge campuses now. So if I'm a salesperson at a Kia store, I can sell a used car on the Ford lot. But how do I maximize my time and how do I give the best customer experience, right? What digital retailing tool are you helping to find that vehicle? And then more importantly, it's not just the vehicle, right? It's the key. Without the key, we're dead. So again, we want to make sure that we have the car and the key gassed up, cleaned up, and ready to go. And again, with our technology, we pinpoint within 3 to 6 feet where that vehicle is. We have all the geo fences. So let me give you an example where if somebody's coming in on random vehicle and we see it over at the collision center and then the key's over back at another store, we might want to find out what's going on with that vehicle and have some alternatives, right? We never want to tell people not to come to the dealership, but we have to have that great guest experience, right? So we have to have some alternatives. Hey, that vehicle had a mishap, whatever it might have been. Here's 2 or 3 that I lined up for you that are exactly like what we talked about. Let's go ahead and take a look at those, right? We're not wasting that customer's time. We're giving them options. We're transparent with them, which is a huge thing right now, is that we want to make sure that we're fully transparent because there's really nothing to hide anymore in the car business. Everybody knows all the numbers, right? So when you go back to finding that car, finding that key, very basic, very simple things. But every dealership, we talked about they're hiring more. I would tell you that since that hasn't worked, I think there's a lot of them that are looking to be more of that SEAL team, right? Want to do more with less. So if I want my managers all over every deal and I want you answering the inbound calls and I want you handling everything, this is where I start looking at it and I say, how am I going to make them more efficient? If I need to rely on porters to go get cars, then I want to be directing them, right? And if I know where my cars and my keys are, I'm going to have a much better guest experience. So when you go back to that OEM survey and they say, hey, was the dealer mindful of your time? That's when we can, without a doubt, say, yes, we are providing a great retailing experience.
Yeah, and of course, buying a car can be a very emotional moment for someone as well. It's extremely meaningful. It's a piece of equipment you're going to be living in only second to your house or your office probably for the next several years. And so also knowing that you're going to have that $10,000 limited theft warranty as well is a huge peace of mind that just comes with your car.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they all, one of the questions I used to ask when I sold cars was, did you name your vehicle? Because I knew that there's a big difference between a person that's like, this is just a tin can that gets me down the road, and oh, this is Bubbles, my little special car, right? And I have so much love. So we want to ask those those clarifying questions of, what that vehicle means to them. But when you find out that the car's name is Bubbles, right? Well, we don't want anybody else driving it. We want to get Bubbles back, right? So this is why we have this theft protection. And so for us, we kind of frame it in that down payment assistance, right? Because if your vehicle is stolen and isn't recovered, you're going to have negative equity. So hopefully you've got GAP. You're going to have your insurance company that's going to help you with, the market value of the vehicle. And then you have Ikon for that down payment assistance, right? So that's a fantastic opportunity to talk about, protecting that vehicle that they love.
So we're creating a better sales experience. We're providing a much stickier connection to fixed ops so the customer keeps coming back. We're creating higher levels of satisfaction so that they're referring to friends and family all the time. And if they're in a nightmare scenario where the car is stolen and not recovered, we're giving them awesome protection so that they don't lose their down payment, they don't suffer from negative equity, and they're coming back to you again for Bubbles Jr.
Yep, always. It's always nice to sell them a second one, right? And it's even better that it's not, it's obviously a traumatic experience. It's something that, you never want to go through because it just upends you. But this is one of those things that there's a silver lining because, again, most people are coming into a store, they're trading a vehicle that probably has $6,000 to $7,000 of negative equity, right? And their payment's going to be higher because the interest rates are higher and cars cost more. So if that car does get stolen and it isn't recovered in 30 days, all of a sudden, right, because we've protected ourselves with GAP and we have our insurance, we get that down payment assistance, we're walking out of there with a lower payment than we came in with. So, we have these real life dealer experiences. They're fantastic for the sales associates to talk about and brag about what happens with our protection. So again, it's a win for the dealer that, not only are they coming back, but they're coming back with, oh my goodness, amazing experience. And you get to sell them a second car and probably going to sell them more with all those referrals you get.
And isn't it crazy how some of, I think, our favorite theft recovery stories around here are ones that happen within days of the customer taking the car home, the vehicle's stolen, and we're able to get it back for them right away.
It's an amazing amount of stories we get coast to coast and how many times we've been able to help dealers, and then just the crazy stories that happen, right? The peace of mind that we get with the product as well and the real life applications that we use day to day with the product is quite awesome. Not to mention the fact that with the dealer facing app, right? Your white label app as a dealer, your customer's going to have access to schedule service directly with you.
What I'm hearing is that, dealers don't have to work harder, they need to work smarter, and that Ikon is here to help them do that.
That's good. I like the way to end that.
Great. Well, hey, thanks for your time, Jeremy, today. It's great to have your expertise and your many years walking dealership floors help people figure out how they can work smarter and not harder. See you next time.
Beautiful.